Good morning, Abuja. Good morning, Nigeria. Beautiful time to be here again. Welcome to Agriculture for Today and Tomorrow with Daniel Black, a program where we promote smart solutions for greener harvests. And of course, this is a media for agriculture project of GSAI, that's Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative. Over the weeks, we've been talking about smart farming, smart agriculture, and yes, today we want to throw more expose, do more introduction into exportable crops that thrive in Nigeria. You know, as a farmer myself and an agribusiness development consultant, I get to meet so many people that I always want to ask the question, what can I go into, where can I invest into agriculture? What can I invest into agriculture? How can we, what is profitable? Today we are going to be throwing light on some crops that you can actually go into primary farming, and you can actually farm them and ensure that you have an export market, or you can actually become a commodity trader where you take them from local farmers, and then there is an export market ready to uptake them from your hands at a very profitable margin. So, of course, it's about smart ways of doing this. It's about ensuring food security. While I was deliberating on this topic with my team, someone asked, is Nigeria ready to start exporting food? Is Nigeria ready to start creating exports and doing all those? And you need to understand that food security is a system. It's not just about producing food and eating the food you produce. Foreign exchange will also support food security. You will also have import cash reservoirs will have increase in our IGR, internally generated revenue, and of course, GDP will also rise, and then we'll be able to have funds to purchase and to trade those other commodities that we're not able to produce by ourselves. So it is important that while we also boost local supply of these food items, that we also boost our exportable food items to be able to balance the foreign exchange, to be able to balance finances, to be able to balance revenue generation, because of course we definitely cannot produce everything we eat. So we have to ensure that we also have commodity to trade, and these are advices that we even give to rural farmers. When you're planting, do not use 100% of your farm to plant what you want to eat. You will have to also ensure that you're planting something that you can sell, something that is sellable both to the export market and to your rural community. It is the 3 steps of maximizing your farm. So we will be going into the crops that we can, of course, that thrive in Nigeria and are available for export. And first and foremost, on the list is the one that we all know together is the cocoa crop. The cocoa crop is a very, very one of the largest. Nigeria is one of the largest global producers of cocoa, and it is important that we note here that cocoa sells in the global market at a very, very, very profitable level. So if you're looking for what a commodity to trade, if you're looking for an investment channel to go into, and you can actually go into sourcing for cocoa and ensuring it's available in the global market. The question now is, because most rural farmers may not be able to achieve global market standard, global market quantity, because of course these produces have minimum quantity of order. You cannot just sell 1 kg of, you cannot export 1 kg of cocoa. So it needs a very large investment where you are able to get it in metric tons, in multiple metric tons, to be able to export them. And of course, there is some processing parts to the exportation. So it needs investment where people can come in, open some mini processing line that can turn it from the cocoa pods, as you can see, to coconuts, right? And then it can be now moved, and we can also process it into chocolate. We can process it into granules, into powder form, and then of course the various byproducts of the cocoa can be gotten from there, and then we export. So cocoa is one of the major exportable crops that we have in Nigeria that can actually be a profitable revenue generation both for individuals and government and the likes. So it's used, the raw cocoa beans, it can be used for cocoa butter, can be used for chocolate production, and a whole lot of things. So you can export it to Europe, that's Netherlands and Germany, the United States, and of course Asia.
these are the major markets where you can export your cocoa to. So all about finding the markets, finding the sources. Once you check any of these countries that we've mentioned, or these continents that we've mentioned, you'll find out that you will find a whole lot of buyers ready to offtake, because these are the countries that production and processing of cocoa is done in large quantity. We will move on to the next crop that also thrives in Nigeria and has very, very high export value. The second one we'll be talking about is the sesame seed. The sesame seed in the northern Nigeria thrives a whole lot and is very, very available. In fact, from when I came to Abuja, I noticed that the sesame seed is planted like almost like wheat. It grows everywhere, it grows anywhere. And that is a very high export crop, because sesame seed can be used for oil production, it can be used for food garnishing, and of course can be used for cosmetics. It is of high value in Japan, China, Turkey, and India. This seed, if exported to Japan, Turkey, China, and India, is really, really needed. There are major off-takers waiting to offtake the sesame seed there. So this is another crop that you can actually go into investing in and ensuring that you are able to plug into the agricultural value chain and profitably with very, very minimal, of course, minimal risk. And like we said, there is always that processing component, because this is a shrub that grows and then it has to be processed, where you have to break it and ensure that you have clean seeds that are up to exportation standard. Another one that we all know is the cashew nut. I would say we all know this, but there is very, very little investment in the cashew nut. The cashew nut, in fact, the whole cashew tree, not just the nut, the whole cashew fruit is very, very valuable for different levels of production. It can be used for snacks or food, which is what most Nigerians use it for. It can be used for confectionery, and of course it can be used for oil extraction. The oil in the cashew nut is very healthy and can be used for a whole lot of things. You can actually go into sourcing of cashew nuts and making them export standard and making them available in these countries, as we have mentioned. Of course, we'll move on to the next one, with the rubber. The rubber, Nigeria has been known many years ago for exportation of rubber, but for some reasons that without data verification, we do not know why the cultivation of rubber actually reduced in Nigeria. I used to know back in the day when we were traveling with my parents or on a road trip from between Akwa Ibom and Cross River, we used to see palm oil plantation over 100 hectares of land being cultivated for rubber plantation. And then that was a very, very big company that all of a sudden was not is not in active operation anymore. But rubber is something that thrives very, very well in Nigeria and can be exported. That is you can extract the rubber and then process it, and then of course export it. Rubber, as you know, is used in manufacture of industrial goods and latex products, and it is very, very valuable. It is very, very profitable to export them to Asia, Europe, and North America. So are you still thinking of what commodity do I want to trade? What commodity do I want to bring into take from Nigeria? What commodity do I want to export out of Nigeria? You see, these are the commodities you can actually go for. And most of these crops are available across Nigeria. You can find them in the south, you can find them in the north. Yeah, of course, sesame seed is basically really, really in the north, cashew in north, and you can find rubber in the south. You can find it in the north too. And of course, cocoa thrives in almost every state in Nigeria. So you see, these are the crops that come into, and then we'll now go into the final one. We'll talk about the final crop that you can export, that in fact the local consumption has outweighed greatly the exportation level, which is the palm oil, the palm kernel and the palm oil. And you know, this is a crop that we know that all the components of the palm tree that is not that does not have industrial or processing oil, processing the nuts and processing the oil into some very, very very valuable byproducts. So these are commodities that are very export valuable in Nigeria. Good here, because this is what will balance the foreign exchange and export market with support for the food security drive in Nigeria. That will be all we'll be taking today on agriculture for today and tomorrow. It will be a wrap here. Hoping to hear more, to get more comments. Are there crops you know that are of export value in Nigeria that has not been mentioned? Please drop them on our social media handles on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. You can drop them there, and we will also explore more about the market and about their uses and where they can be used for. Remember, this is Agriculture for Today and Tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Thank you.